All right, everybody. Well, welcome back. We have a really special guest with us here today. This is actually my first time interviewing anybody solo, which is kind of crazy, but I'm really excited. We have my sister Mollie here with us today. Hi, Mollie.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little nervous.
I have to tell you, the people were really excited about this. We got a lot of really people that were asking some really good questions of us. So I'm really excited to dive in. We'll do a little chatting first. We'll talk about what we've been up to. And then we'll talk a little bit of pop culture news, but there's really not a lot because Annie and I just recorded on Thursday and really not a lot has happened since then. Jerry Springer, we talked about Jerry Springer and really that was the big news. So that was really our last piece of info, but we'll talk a little bit about that. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Abby's sister.
Mm-hmm.
I am a nurse. I have 2 kids and a husband and a dog.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. You have like a really nice group of friends that you talk about a lot. I wanted to give them a little shout out because
my girlfriend's Real Housewives of COVID.
Yeah,
we all met on.
You can say it.
The Toast. We all followed the Toast, and most of us don't now.
We used to be big. We all actually used to be big toasters. We were big into the morning toast. We've since distanced a little bit, but
yes, some people in my group still do, but we don't. But I don't. But we all had babies, first round of babies, the same time, and so we all formed a separate group chat the week. It was like separated into what week in December you had a baby. And so we were all the same due dates. And now 3 years later and we still talk.
And you guys are actually getting together for the first time.
In September, we're all flying to Austin. Is that where we're going? Yeah.
I thought you were going to
No, we switched it. We're going to Austin.
Okay.
There's 12 of us going from all over.
Are you bringing your spawns?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. This is a mom weekend. But
Mama's only.
We've been talking for so long, like 3 years, and then we've never met. I've met one of the girls who lives in Woburn, and everybody else is like New York, Florida, a lot of Midwestern girlies, one in LA.
You say you're not like an online kind of person, but you are. You keep up to date.
Well, they keep me up to date. I try not to. Like, I had no clue about the whole Scandival, but they
can't even Justin started watching after finding out about it. He had to get he had to get into it.
It's too juicy not to know what's going on.
I couldn't like help but be intertwined in it because that was all they talked about for a couple weeks. So
well, I know. And now speaking of, like, one of the only topics that we have to talk about today is that Ariana, Lala, and Lisa Vanderpump went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner this past weekend. And one of the comedians made a joke about Tucker Carlson getting caught up. And he was like, Tucker Carlson got caught up like that guy on Vanderpump Rules. And then it like flashed to Ariana. And Ariana was like, oh my God. But it was really funny.
But did you see her outfit?
She looked so good.
It was, she was like modeled after.
You gotta talk into the mic.
She was modeled after,
So maybe the other way. So
yeah, like that.
Yeah. And then you could put it a little bit to the side this way if you want. This way, yeah. There you go. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was modeled after Olivia Newton-John in Grease when she comes back like as Sandy to get.
You have to talk into. Stop looking at me.
I can't. I have to look at you.
Look at the camera.
It's awkward.
It's okay.
She was modeled after Olivia Newton-John in Grease in like the revenge look.
Yeah. Wait, actually, how did you know that?
My friends.
Oh, I never heard that. That's cool.
I think I saw it on Instagram.
Oh, I love that journey for her. I mean, I'm happy for her.
And she did. If you look at like the side by each, they do resemble the outfit. Really, she's popping.
Yeah, she looked really good. They all did, actually. I don't really like Lala's style. I think she's a bit too kitschy for me. But I actually did like her look at that. But anyways, so anything else you want to share? I feel like that's a good assessment, and then we can talk a little bit more as we get in. But anything else you want to share?
No, I just wanted to, come on and say, hey.
Okay, well, you're doing great so far. And something I wanted to say, but is anything that if you say something that you're not comfortable with, we can't cut it out. I forgot to tell you that before, so it's okay.
like the stuff that we just messed up on.
Well, we could, but I think it's fine. I think it was funny enough. But I just mean like if you accidentally said somebody's name that you didn't want to say or something like that, that could always be cut out.
Like Uncle Boob.
Yep. Yeah, we'll leave that in because that's his alias, but that's fine.
Does he go by that?
Well, I don't know. I don't even know if we've ever talked about that, but we could talk.
I think you just call him my husband.
Yeah, I usually just call him my husband because he doesn't like his government name to be revealed on the pod, which I've always attempted to respect, but almost every episode I do in fact have a slip up. So that's my bad on that. But I did tell him, I was like, we're having a friends and family week this week, dubbed by me. I started calling it that. So it's a friends and family week. And I said, my sister's coming on. I said, do you want to come on too? And he was like, absolutely not. And I was like, come on, I think it would be fun. The people would really love it. And he was like, no, I'm good. But he's not a man of many words. So I think it wouldn't be really his forte. But my niece and nephew, it started really when my niece was a baby. She still really can't. She couldn't really say his name. And so his name has somehow evolved into, she just calls him Uncle Boob. So it'll be really great when she gets to kindergarten someday and they're like, who's picking you up today? And she's like, my Uncle Boob's coming to pick me up. So I'm really excited for that. I think that one will be really fun. And now it's stuck. It's too late now.
That's his name now.
Yeah.
It was too late. But
yeah, we could have changed it when she first started talking, but it's too late now. And it's so cute when she does say it. She's like, Boob, look, Boob, come here, Boob, watch.
She just says, Aunt Boob.
Yep.
I said, who took you to the library this weekend? Aunt Boob.
Yep.
You're just one.
We are one cohesive unit.
Aunt Boob.
Aunt Boob. But yeah, no. So that's cool. And then for just 2 quick pieces of celeb news before we talk a little bit more about our lives. The Met Gala is today, first Monday in May. So happy Met Monday to all those who celebrate. I'm excited, but there's really not a ton of celebrities going this year. I think there is a big...
I was really bummed because I usually like to see what Blake Lively wears, and she's not going.
She's not going.
And she's the one I look for.
I know. She's like always the queen of the Met Gala. But I think... So I don't know what her reasoning is for not going, but I do know that the theme is honoring Karl Lagerfeld, who obviously was a very famous designer who passed away very recently. So the theme is like honoring Karl. And Karl was a very polarizing figure. A lot of people really liked Karl, but a lot of people really did not like Karl because you can form your own opinions. You can Google it if you want. But a lot of people didn't like Karl. So I don't know if it has something to do with something personal going on in her life or if it has to do with the fact that she did not like Karl. So I don't know. But it could be either way.
It also could be she just had a baby.
Yeah, but she was seen out with Taylor Swift a couple weekends ago. They were like out gallivanting in New York City.
Oh.
But that was post Taylor Swift breakup. It could have just been her doing a solid for her homegirl.
They're friends?
Blake Lively and Taylor Swift? Yeah. they're like best friends. She wrote a song about a couple of Blake Lively's kids, actually.
Really?
Yeah, a couple of Blake Lively's kids.
I hate to see that.
Oh yeah, you're not really a big Taylor Swift girl.
No.
A couple of Blake Lively's and Ryan Reynolds' kids are mentioned in a couple of Taylor Swift songs, and they were in one of her music videos.
Oh,
a couple.
I didn't
of them,
know
actually.
because I'm not a Swifter.
Swiftie, yeah. No, I'm actually not really either. I mean, I like Taylor Swift. I don't have our dead grandmother, who we talk about a lot. Our dead grandmother was not a Taylor Swift fan.
I think it just rubbed off on me.
Yeah,
just a little like, yeah. Just not a fan.
And it's not like her personality or anything. We're just like not really big fans of her. Like she's whatever she wants to do is fine. But I'm not a big fan of her music. I mean, I like some of her music. Well, and I've said this before on this podcast, but I like everything before like Folklore and Evermore. After that, she kind of lost me.
Whatever came out when I was in high school, I loved. But then it was kind of like, nah.
She
lost me.
She became a bit
too big for her britches.
Yeah, I would say that. I think that's a good assessment. I think that's fair. Anybody else you're looking forward to at the Met Gala tonight?
No, I just was bummed. Oh, is Cardi B going?
I don't know. I would think probably I think she was pretty tight with Karl Lagerfeld, so I would assume so. She's probably going.
It's probably on past my bedtime. I go to bed at 8:30. So
yeah, no, it's actually I think it's the red carpet starts at like 7. I think.
Oh, I can maybe
because it's in New York time, so
I can maybe swing that.
Yeah. But I'm excited for some of the looks. I think I actually don't know if Harry Styles is going. He did chair.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Yeah, he did chair a couple years ago. I don't know if he's going or not.
Huh.
You're not getting pulled over. There's a siren behind us. So if you were just wondering what that noise was, it was a siren out the window. I never want anybody, if they're listening in their car, I don't want them to think that it's somebody
it's
pulling
just
them
us.
over. Just us. So I'm excited. I hope Harry's going. I did see that his stylist is in New York, and he did say that he was dressing 4 people for tonight. So I do sincerely hope that Harry is one of them, because he does always show up when it comes to the Met Gala. But I think this theme at least will be a little bit easier than some of the other ones that they've had in the past. So I'm looking forward to dissecting some of the looks from that.
Yeah.
And then just a quick little bit of coronation news. We actually never really talk about the royals on this podcast. I don't really know why. I don't think it's anything personal with the royals. I think we just generally don't care enough to talk about them. But apparently Prince William's has a big role at their dad's coronation, but Prince Harry, according to Page 6, has been snubbed.
He's not invited?
Apparently he's going, but he's not allowed to talk.
Well, he did that to himself.
Yeah, I actually don't mind Prince Harry. I love Meghan Markle. I don't know if you feel the same. I feel like we might have differing opinions on this.
No. Again, I think she got a little too big for her britches.
I think you're just a hater, is what I think.
I don't know. I don't really have that many opinions about it, but like, I don't know. Maybe I have to read the book, but I feel like she like ripped Harry away from his family.
See, I don't like that narrative. I just don't think that narrative is true. I think if he really wanted to stay, I think he would have. I think he was kind of like ready to get out as well, in my opinion.
And you're entitled to your own opinion.
You're entitled to your own wrong opinion. That's fine. And
I've always said that.
And I've always said that. And that's something, I mean, you and I, it's rare that we agree on things like this.
Precisely.
So that's really all we have for news. So we'll be back with more Met Gala news post Met Gala, obviously. I think I didn't mention this at the start of the episode, but Annie is traveling this week. We miss her. But that's why we're having our own self-proclaimed friends and family week here today. So all right, that's that. We got a lot of really interesting questions from the viewers. So we're going to just dive on into a little Q&A session. So something that a lot of people wanted to know, I actually got probably 5 questions about this, was talk a little bit about our age gap and what that was like growing up.
Okay, so we're
almost 7 years apart.
Almost 7 years apart. So I was like the baby for 7 years, and it was a different time. And then all of a sudden, my parents, we have an older brother, sat us down and said, shut the TV off. And we were watching Are You Afraid of the Dark? And they said, handed me a picture, and I was like, what is this? And it was an ultrasound. I mean, I was 6.
And our brother thought that our parents were getting divorced.
Right.
That's so he started crying.
And no, they were having a baby. And
what's worse, really?
I mean, honestly, my life was over. But it was a huge shock. And so,
our brother is almost 10 years older than me.
Yeah, because he's 3 years older than me. So,
which is the same gap between Annie's family, oddly enough.
Really?
I'm pretty sure her brother's the same age as you.
No.
He's our cousin's age, so he's 2 years younger than you.
Yeah.
So he was 5, and
but still,
yeah.
And so here, I like to call her an accident, but my mom likes to call her our bonus, which is a nice way of putting it. But nonetheless, here she is.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me.
We didn't really like get along until maybe like I was in college.
Yeah, I think when you moved out,
that was like, well, I mean, we shared a room,
so it was hard
for
a long time.
For like 18 years.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, until
not 18.
Well, for 18,
I'm bad at math.
Like 10 for you, because until you were.
Yeah, I mean, we had bunk beds.
We did have bunk beds,
and
you had the top bunk. Obviously.
Yeah, and then we had like separate twin beds. So, like,
but realistically, I probably should have had the top bunk.
You should have, but you didn't.
I don't know how that happened that way, but that's all right.
I still have back pain from climbing up the ladder, but I won't hold that against you forever.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
So then now we're literally best friends.
Yeah, we do everything together.
We do We do everything together.
Yeah.
There's really no separation here.
No, there's really no secrets either. And we're really close with our mom too. Like our mom, we talk all the like
We're in a group chat.
Yeah.
The three of us.
When she found out that we were doing this today, like I think she was worried that we were going to talk shit about her. But she is. She's always like saying like, "Oh, I bet you two bitches are going to talk about me." But we're like,
no,
we don't have anything bad to say about our mom.
Nothing.
She's like always.
She's
always
like,
has. She's like, tell that one to your therapist. I'm like,
and we're like, we do.
I'm like, I will. But like, it's not
worry.
anything bad. Like, she just acts like, I don't know. She always thinks we're out to get her.
But she also doesn't have a sister.
Right. So she doesn't understand.
She only has a brother.
Right.
And so she doesn't get like the dynamic. And those that get it.
And those that don't. And
so we have this like weird like telepathy type
Mhm.
thing where you can just give a look.
Yeah.
And I know other people who have sisters have said the same thing.
And if you don't have a sister, you genuinely probably don't understand what
You
that's
don't.
like.
But we can have a whole conversation just looking at each other.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's why at first, and if you want us to cut this out after I say this, you can cut it out. At first, when you found out you were having a son, at first you were a little, not disappointed, but upset because you were like, I feel bad that my daughter doesn't get to have a sister now.
Right.
But my point to you was, look at how far apart we are in age, right? We're at least we're 7 years apart, really. And it worked out fine. So maybe you could have another kid and they could have a big gap and it would be fine.
I mean, you never know.
You just never know these days.
But it's all good. And like, it's just, I mean, your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. Even my friends in my group chat are all like they were all excited because they're like, oh, we follow the podcast. And a lot of them follow Abby's Bookstagram. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
For like book recs.
Mhm.
And it's just funny.
Which is a good segue into my next question for you, which is something that we got a lot, is can you give us your top 3? So we're both big Ellen Hildebrand fans.
Number one.
We've read all of her books.
all of them.
And
In order.
And
backwards.
Yep. And I actually was thinking, Mom just said to me the other day, oh, the new Ellen Hildebrand book comes out on the 15th, whatever. I'll order it for you for your birthday. And I said, just check with Mollie because I'm actually sure she probably already did.
Wait, which one is it? Because I didn't.
I think it's called the 5-Star Weekend.
But is that a real book or just a compilation of little?
No, that's her new book that comes out June 15th. Is
Oh.
called the 5-Star Weekend. This is not an ad, by the way. Ellen, if you ever want to come on the pod, please let us know. But it's her newest book.
Okay.
But you
I think
read
I was confused because one of her books recently that came out was
Something Weekend.
and it was like just a compilation of short stories. And what was the question?
So your top 3 Ellen Hildebrand books.
Oh, come on.
I know it's tough.
Well, I'll tell you something. I'm in a little bit of a reading rut.
Mhm.
And you know I'm a big reader. I actually let my husband borrow my Kindle because I haven't read since August.
Really? That's not like you.
Did
Did you read Ellen's The
No.
Hotel Nantucket?
I never finished it. You want to know why? It started talking about a ghost.
Yeah,
I'm
I thought that was weird too, but I actually ended up really liking it.
Okay. Well, maybe I need to finish it. I started it in the vineyard, which was what? Late
Which was
July.
in July. Yeah.
And I never finished it.
Well, you should finish it.
I guess. I have to ask for my Kindle back though.
Well, yeah, that's true.
He's just busy reading How to Save Money books.
Yeah, I
so.
know. I always now. So Molly's husband obviously took her Kindle, and we share. I hope the Kindle people don't come for us for this, but we share a Kindle Unlimited account. Me, Molly's Kindle, and our mom's Kindle, which is kind of funny because again, like we were talking about with Annie last week, the gamut of what I read is quite different from the gamut of what anybody else reads. But so the Kindle Unlimited recommendations on like our shared page now are all like stupid stuff like
How to start a business
yeah, it's
quick.
like, do you want to make money on an investment property? Read this guide. And
Yeah.
they all come up on the thing. I'm like, Molly's husband, I'm like, he really messed up our whole algorithm there.
But he's read more books in the past like couple months than he's read since I've known him. I mean, we've been together almost 10 years. So
yeah,
you know what? I'm just letting him roll with it. But now I think I'll have to ask for the Kindle back so I can finish that book because it was like I felt like it was like a paranormal book, and that's just not my thing. I'm a scaredy
no, it's
cat.
not. It's not paranormal. I promise you, because I'm not into that. I don't vibe with that.
I don't vibe with ghosts.
Yeah, no.
So I guess I'll finish it. But anyways, Ellen, and it's pronounced Ellen, not
Yeah, a lot of people
Elin.
think it's Elin Hildebrand. It's actually Ellen.
And
It's Ellen
also,
Hildebrand.
no offense, Mom, but it's Ellen. Mom always
Yeah,
says,
Mom always says Elin.
Oh, did you read the newest Elin book? But
no,
it's
she
Ellen.
says Elin. She doesn't. No, maybe she does say Hildebrand, but she's like Ellen Hildebrand.
Right. Just like
It's
a
the same
one
with-
word.
Yeah, it's the same with like Chipotle. I'm like,
Right.
God, Chipotle's been around for about 15 years now, and you're
And
still
just
saying
because she
Chipotle.
said she didn't want us to make fun of her, now I'm going to
Yeah.
say she also says pomegranate
"Oh
instead
yeah,
of pomegranate, but it's fine.
now see,
Love you,
this
Mom.
is what. Yeah, she's gonna be like, see, I knew you two.
If you didn't say that, then
we
I wouldn't have said it.
No, I
but
know,
we had to.
but she does. She always has pomegranate martinis. She loves a good martini.
Pomegranate. Well, she loves a good martini. I do too. I have a little Instagram reel. Is that what it's
Like
called?
no, a little
A
highlight.
highlight called Martinis and Me, and it's just me drinking different martinis.
Slay.
You
As
can check
should.
it out if you want.
Yeah.
Abby will tag me.
Yeah, no, we can talk about it at the end. You can share your ad, and people can follow you
Okay.
if you want. But we'll do that.
I
at the
can't
end.
wait to see if I get new followers.
Yeah, you
instead of
probably
my
will.
176 now.
Oh, that's sad. Well, no offense.
I'm old and boring. Okay, so number one's Blue Bistro.
Yeah, me too. That's my number one also.
I don't even really I don't know. And then I don't know if they count as different ones, but the St. John series.
Yeah, what Happens in Paradise series.
Yeah.
You can say that. You can just count that as one. I think
Because
that's
there's
fine.
3, right? And is
Yeah.
that series over?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 3 of them is my second.
Mhm.
And then I think my third favorite, what was the one that came out before Hotel Nantucket?
Oh, Golden Girl.
No, what was the one where like they meet up every Memorial Day?
Oh.
Was it Memorial Day or Labor Day?
28 Summers.
That one was super good.
That
So
one
maybe
actually
that would-
might, I was just thinking that one might have wiggled its way into my top 3 as well.
I think it's a mix-up, a toss-up between that one and the Winter Street series.
Oh, the Winter Street series is really good.
And
If you're looking for like good, cozy, wintry vibes.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when I have seasonal depression, I read those books because they're like so happy, so upbeat. It really
I mean,
it
I
gives
love
good energy.
Christmas, but then so it like really just makes you feel warm and fuzzy. Even though
I like Christmas too, but the general season around Thanksgiving, like between Thanksgiving and Christmas, just generally kind
Same.
of depresses me.
oh no,
Oh. No, I was going to say because that's when our dead grandma died. So it always kind of
that was
bums.
before Thanksgiving though. So after
No, it was like right around Thanksgiving.
but before
Yeah, it was like 3 days before.
it was like a week.
It was
before,
also
but-
like 3 days after we went to a Stevie Wonder concert. Our whole family went, not our dead grandma, but we went, and we had such a nice time. And then like 48 hours later, our grandma died. It's not funny, but
it's not. But
But this is just kind of our general demeanor. And then our grandma died. So now when we listen to Stevie Wonder, I think, oh, this reminds me of our dead grandma.
I just only think of that when I think of we went to a Stevie Wonder concert. But when
Right.
I listen to like my jams
Mhm.
by Stevie, I don't necessarily, connect
Equate the two. Yeah.
But okay, so the first one would be Blue Bistro, the second one would be the Trouble in Paradise series, and the third one would be I think Winter Street series
Mhm.
with an honorable mention to 28
Summers.
Summers. That was
So-
a good one.
Yeah. So my updated ranking, I'm gonna still stick with Blue Bistro as number 1. I am
It's so
just
good.
because it's so good. But then number 2, I'm gonna go with The Matchmaker. That one's an underrated one, but it's so sad and so good. I just love it with my whole heart. And then number 3, I think I'm actually gonna go with 28 Summers, which pushes out Beautiful Day, which was another one of my favorites that I absolutely loved.
Was that the wedding one?
Yeah, it's the one when the mom dies.
Oh yeah, no, don't.
And what? You don't like that one?
I don't. If it starts with the mom dies, it's
well,
like
yeah,
a little,
but no, but the
wah.
mom's never alive throughout the course of the whole book. And the mom like leaves a notebook for the daughter of what she should do on her wedding day.
Oh, I kind of forgot about that one. What's the one where they like go to that little island and the lady's a chef?
Oh, that one is The Love Season, which is a very underrated one.
I love that one.
Yeah, that
Isn't
one.
there like recipes in the back too?
Yeah, so when we interviewed Ellen for my friend Mackenzie, who runs the Bad Bitch Book Club, when we interviewed Ellen for the book club that one time, I asked her about it because I was like, I have to know. You wrote this book, The Love Season, after the Blue Bistro. It has a lot of the same cooking motifs that you talked about in the Blue Bistro. What was the rationale behind that? And she basically said, I learned so much about cooking and cuisine and food when I was writing the Blue Bistro that I had all this leftover information that I then used to write The Love Season.
I love that book. It makes you just want to have a picnic with a cold glass of.
But so what's interesting, so I'm looking at her website right now and I didn't even realize this.
Sentence.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Cold glass of
Pinot Grigio.
No, Sancerre.
Oh, Sancerre. I do love a glass of Sancerre. That's true. But I'm looking at her website now, and the reason that I didn't think of those ones is because those were actually published with other publishers. But now she has a new publisher.
Oh.
So the Love Season, the Blue Bistro, Summer People. I don't remember that one. I'd have to think about it. And then Nantucket Nights, and then the Beach Club.
The Beach Club's really good too.
Yeah. I think the Beach Club is the first one that I ever read.
Is it? What's her first book? I think
the Beach Club is the first one.
I think so too.
That publisher. And then she switched to the new publisher. And now, actually, the Perfect Couple, which was a really popular one for a while,
yes,
is becoming a TV series.
Yes, and she's excited. They're filming right now in the Cape.
Yeah, they took over like a big parts of Chatham and made Chatham into like Nantucket.
Yeah.
And then I saw a bunch of people were saying stuff about how it's going to draw all this unwanted tourism to Chatham. And she was like, actually, people aren't even going to know that it's Chatham. People are going to think that it's Nantucket. So it's really going to bring the tourism to Nantucket.
Which is good because she supports all things Nantucket.
Yeah. I liked the Identicals too because there was a lot of vineyard stuff in there. And we're vineyard girls at heart.
We are.
Even though I have married a Cape person. But that's okay. I don't fault him for that. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not his fault.
Yeah. Just happy on Chappie.
Yes, so true. Okay, well, that's a good answer. So I got a couple. I mean,
how many questions did you get?
Honestly, I probably got like 20 questions.
What?
I got a lot. People were really interested to see what you have to say. So
Okay.
how do you feel? This was an interesting one that I got that I wanted to touch upon. How do you feel as somebody that grew up in Marymount but now lives in Squantum? So we live in Quincy, grew up in Quincy, born, raised, et cetera, still live there. We both grew up in Marymount. Our family home is in Marymount. Our parents still live there. And now I live in Howe's Neck and Mollie lives in Squantum. Which it's like, if you think you're better than us, just say it.
I don't. There's really no difference to me. I mean.
Yeah, but Squantum people, and Annie's going to kill me when she listens to this. Annie's going to really have a lot to say because she's a Squantumite. And growing up, I will say, I was a Squantum bee. I wanted to be from Squantum. I was always hanging out in Squantum, hanging with the Squantum girlies. And I was just a Marymount girl at heart. But
see, we went to Catholic school, so I didn't grow up with any of like the neighborhood kids. So it's really not like a big difference for me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's one of the, not downsides, but one of the interesting parts of Catholic school. And Annie and I actually just talked a little bit about Catholic school the other day, but we went to Catholic school, so we had like various friend groups.
But Annie didn't, right?
No.
No. So we didn't. Yeah, I had like different, I had like my neighborhood friends, but they went to Catholic school too. And then I didn't really. So I guess it's like moving from one side of the ocean to the other. They're both equally beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
There's no
humble brag.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say about Squantum, and Annie will be mad at me for saying this, but there is a, and I'm so sorry to say this, there's a stench
when you drive in.
When you drive into Squantum, because it's a causeway. One way in, one way out.
But guess what? Like somebody posted on a page, like a town page recently, or a city page or something recently, and it was asking why it always smells when you drive in, because they just moved there. And my comment back was like, well, how else are you supposed to know you're almost home?
Yeah, like unless you look at the big red, the big oil tank, like that's when you're driving through Boston.
Right.
You know what I mean?
When you see that, it's like
when you see the tank,
home.
When you see the oil tank, that's how you know you're home.
Like on your way home from New Hampshire or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neither here nor there.
Wait, speaking of, and this is just a little off-topic thing that I wanted to say. I didn't even talk about this. My husband and I went to the Bruins game last night, which, well, yeah, it's very sad. I don't want to talk about it. Actually, Adam said that he was coming on the podcast. He texted my husband before the game and said, if the Bruins lose, I'm coming on the podcast to talk shit about somebody, but I can't remember who it was. It's going to kill me.
Like one of the players?
One of the players, but I don't remember which one it was.
I don't know.
Hold on, let me look it up, because when I see it, it'll jog my memory.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think the worst part about being at the game last night is the fact that, like, okay, like, yeah, They blew the lead with like 30 seconds left. Like you guys, I'm sure were
59
all
seconds.
59.
Yep.
See, the 59 seconds. I'm sure it hurt a lot of
Yep.
people, ripped their hearts out. Right?
Yes.
You guys were celebrating the big comeback. You're ready to go home. You're super happy. And now you have to deal with another hockey intermission, which is way too long.
That was the worst part.
To
And
begin with,
they
and
don't
then
sell
come out and
alcohol,
lose.
right?
and
They stopped selling booze.
10 minutes into with 10 minutes left in the third period,
Yeah.
they stopped selling booze. So there
No
was
booze, sitting around for 20 minutes, and then they come out flat and lose. Like that to me is like just a little extra, kick.
yeah, it was
kick
a
while
real
you're down.
kick
Yeah.
when you were down. It was the game-
Surprisingly enough, I stayed up for it.
really.
That's not really my thing,
No.
but my father-in-law was in town. He lives in Florida, and he's he lives in Florida, so he's also a Panthers fan.
Right. And he has season tickets to the Panthers games.
Yeah, so he wanted to watch it, and I guess my husband was like, "All right, we'll just stay up anyway." So I stayed up till like 10:30.
Yeah.
What time did it get over?
We got home by like 10:30.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think around there. Yeah.
I think it ended around 10ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what sucks is like we could have been home by 9:30 if there wasn't
Right.
an overtime.
Right.
That was the real bummer.
And it was like what time? It was only like 5 minutes into overtime that
Yeah.
the Panthers scored.
Right. It was Connor Clifton is who Adam wants to come on the podcast and talk shit about. Is Connor Clifton.
Okay.
So
Oh.
Adam, you have an open invitation anytime because it was quite a
What is he? Who is
devastating
he?
game. He's a defenseman.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know why Adam has beef with him in particular, but
Stay
he does.
tuned.
But yeah, my husband, it was very sad for my husband. The look of defeat on his face. But so we had a great time. Aside from that, the game was fun. The vibes in the Garden were very high. It was a very fun atmosphere. But that was a real bummer. And then when we were on the way home, the craziest thing happened. I have to tell you guys about this. So we were on the way home and we were driving down 93,
Not 95.
not 95. I said 95 when I was, but that's
And I was
because I
like,
don't know
she's
where
like,
I'm going.
we were on 95. I go, if you were on 95, you got
Something
problems.
was wrong. Yeah. No, I was on 90. We were on 93 and we were in an Uber, a Volkswagen Beetle Jetta, something like that, which is like pretty low to the ground. And anyway, so we hit, I'm not even kidding you, a pothole that I felt it in my soul. It was like rattled the whole I thought the car got shot. I thought somebody shot the car is how deep this pothole was.
So dramatic.
No, I'm being so, and because I looked over at my husband and my husband looked at me and he was like, what the fuck? And so then we drive maybe, and our Uber driver was like, Jesus Christ. So then, I'm not kidding, we meant maybe another 1,000 yards. And on the, what do you call the,
1,000? I don't know.
maybe like 100 yards, sorry, 100 yards. And like
In the
up on
breakdown lane?
yeah, in the breakdown lane, like on the shoulder,
shoulder?
on the shoulder, there was 7 cars pulled over with flat tires that all had gotten a flat tire from the pothole that we had hit. It was crazy. And they all were with their flashers pulled over to the shoulder. And our Uber driver, I thought he was kidding. I thought it was traffic. Like I didn't know what it was. And our Uber driver was like, look, all of those cars over there had hit that pothole and all have a flat tire now. And I looked and he was serious. And then this morning at school, I was telling somebody about it. And they were like, wait, I saw somebody in coffee break this morning who got a flat tire from that pothole. And I was like, what is the state of Massachusetts doing to fix this? What?
Nothing.
No, absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
I bet it's still
Wait.
there.
I wonder, I was on 93 today, but well, actually,
I think we were in the far left-hand lane.
I might have missed it because
It was either the left-hand lane or the middle lane. But
well, and if you're in the far left-hand lane, it's like the high speed lane, right? Well,
yeah,
not
but
high
it was like
speed, but, you know.
between it was like between South Bay and like the first Dorchester exit.
The JFK exit.
No. Yeah. But anyways, either way, it was really crazy. I couldn't believe it.
Well, I'm glad you didn't get a pothole. I mean,
No, I'm glad I didn't get a flat tire
in
because
an
we were
Uber.
standing outside in the rain for like 15 minutes trying to get an Uber after the Bruins had just lost. My husband was depressed. It was pouring rain. Guys, I can't even begin to explain to you how crazy people were when they were walking down the streets, like screaming at the top of their lungs, being like, fuck that team. I can't believe we lost. Like literally like flipping out. It was crazy.
Was Boob doing that?
Well,
Well,
no.
he's more of the silent.
No, he's more of the silent, strong type where he was just sitting there trying not to cry, I think.
Right.
He was really upset. He was really bummed.
He does love
I
his
mean,
Bruins.
They wasted the greatest season of all time. Like, to the number 8 seed.
You know what they say? The Panthers were just a better team.
Honestly, and the
Pats.
Panthers looked better yesterday too, which is sad to say. But I really do genuinely feel like the Panthers deserved that win because the Bruins looked like they look like shit. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
People are probably going to come for me for saying that. But I don't know if that's the correct sports take because I'm not a sports analyst, but they didn't really look great. Justin, is that the right take here?
No, yeah, they looked like shit. They were up.
Yeah.
They were in theory the best team of all time. They were up
They
3-1 in
yeah.
the series, like 3-1.
Yeah.
Mhm. And they
And-
I did know
and
that.
They blew it.
Yeah. And no, and
Yeah.
then they lost total this whole their whole season. They lost 7 games and 3 of them were in the playoffs. Right?
I don't know if I would have to double check that, but
But
maybe,
I
yeah.
think that's right. I could Google it, but I think that's correct. Something along those lines.
This
which
was
is crazy.
the only game I watched this season, but I kind of kept up with it. Well, maybe I watched 1 or 2, but
And don't forget that I'm sure most of those fans there probably bet on the Bruins too.
Oh,
and
because-
bet on the game.
Yeah, that's
You can
probably
bet,
why
yeah.
people were pissed.
So-
Oh yeah, because you can bet now. I totally forgot
oh
about
yeah,
that.
so there was a lot of insult to injury with
I'm
those
sure.
people leaving the stadium last night. Like that's
oh, bad hit.
That is really
That's not my thing though.
betting.
I like to gamble.
Yeah, you do like to gamble. I wasn't sure if you wanted to say that on here, so I didn't say anything.
I
about
just
it.
like to hit the slots.
Yeah, our mom does too. Our mom's a big slots girl.
She loves this. We love the slots.
the slots,
like-
yeah, slots are fun.
I just love just sitting there hitting the button. There's
just go
nothing
like
like it. Yeah, it's
Well,
so
you can play for
mindless.
like 10 cents a spin, so
That's
like
what I
you
do,
can
yeah.
get like your entertainment out of it without going crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
which is nice.
The last time we went, I actually won a decent amount. I think we went to
Encore?
that time that we. I think it was actually the last time we went to Foxwoods. I won a ton of money.
Oh,
Like
I haven't been there since before the pandemic.
Really?
Yeah,
I went-
because pandemic. Then I got pregnant.
Yeah.
Then I got
Then you
pregnant,
got pregnant again.
and then I
Thanks a
haven't been
lot.
back.
Thanks a lot, kids. All right, this was an interesting one that somebody asked that I think is actually really kind of fun. I think you'll like this one. Each of your 5 fingers is a drink. Like
Oh, no.
so is like a drink dispenser. So you can pick a drink from each of your 5 fingers to dispense a drink. So you just like shh, shh, like a soda gun, out of your hand.
Okay.
What 5 drinks are you picking?
I mean, anybody who knows me knows number 1 is ginger ale.
Ginger ale. Yeah.
I love ginger ale.
But tell people your Molly is a ginger ale snob, and I have no shame in saying that because it's true.
Schweppes
Mhm.
or bust.
Mhm.
Although, and I don't know if I can say this.
You could say this.
I recently got turned on to Market Basket brand ginger ale. Now, I've been a Market Basket girly for years.
The store where you get more for your dollar.
I have been going to Market Basket for years.
Mhm.
And I just was like, nah. But I said, actually, Abby got some. And she's like, you have to try it. Because she likes ginger ale, but she's not as like snobby about it as me. And guess what?
Big of you to admit that, by the way.
And
Thank
guess
you.
what? It is delicious. It's still not as good. But a 24 pack of Schweppes is like $11.
Yeah.
You can get 2 12 packs. If there's one thing about me and that my mom taught me, it's that I love a bargain.
Mhm.
And my sister is the exact opposite. But you can get 2 12 packs there for $8. I like, you can't even get 1 12 pack half the time at Stop and Shop for $8.
No.
If it's not on sale, it's $7.99. And guess what? It's really good. So
it is really good.
Market Basket, sponsor us. But we love all things Market Basket.
Yeah, I'm a big Market Basket fan. They actually have delicious iced coffee.
Really?
Yeah, their iced coffee. Sometimes like I'll go in the morning and they have a little bakery at the one in Hanover, and you walk up to the bakery and you get
No,
a
I
little.
know. I usually go to the Brockton one, but I've never really thought to get. I like really, really dark, rich, robust iced coffee. So
Ugh,
it's
again,
probably not
snob.
that- yeah, and like I don't bother. So okay, so number 1 would be ginger ale.
Mhm.
I'm not really picky about the brand anymore because it's just delicious as long as it's nice and chilled. It's
Okay.
actually right here in my cup.
Yeah.
Market Basket, Chelmsford ginger ale. And number 2 would be dark roast iced coffee, probably from Starbucks. And number 3 would be espresso martinis, creamy. If you like dark espresso martinis,
Don't say that to my husband. You know he likes the dark ones.
yeah, I know he's like that, but it's fine. Creamy espresso martinis. Number 4 would probably be the orange mango body armor.
Oh yeah, you do love Body Armor.
I sometimes just go all day without drinking water. I really hate water. I do. I hate it.
You should be on Water Talk with like all those people
I
who are
can't.
like,
I hate it.
here's a birthday. No, it's like a birthday cake flavored water, and that's how these people get their water in a day.
I mean,
I'm gonna send you some of the TikToks.
okay, but I don't really like water. So I like
Wait, no, you were at my house last night. You saw that I have like all those like drink packets.
Yeah, what's up with all those? There was
That's the stuff.
1,800 boxes of.
Yeah,
how
my
much money did you spend on that?
No, I've accumulated them over time. Like I don't just buy them all
I was
at the
gonna
same time.
organize them for you, but then I figured they were maybe boobs, and then like I didn't
No.
want to mess with his packets.
No, it's
Whose
not
are
worth
they?
it. They're mine. I bought them like I like to like mix them in. Well, we grew up we were a big Crystal Light household.
For sure.
But
And
that's because like
Pepsi.
our mom was always on. She didn't have to be, but our mom was always on Weight Watchers. Like so, we were always doing like Crystal Light.
It was like
and like
that was the
snack
thing back
packs.
then.
It was everybody was on Weight Watchers. It was the 90s. It was a
Yeah.
different time, or the early 2000s. Like everybody was on Weight Watchers because everybody wanted to be Paris Hilton thin, and so everybody was on Weight Watchers. So we all just kind of became Crystal Light people.
I do love Crystal Light still.
Me too. But so I like water. Like I enjoy water, but I do enjoy like an occasional like iced tea. And I was finding myself every day. I mean, it's no secret that I love a little treat. I have to get a little treat
Every
after
day.
school every day.
Right.
Otherwise, what's the point of doing any of this? And so I would go and I'd like get myself boba or an iced tea from Starbucks. Just I was always getting myself something. So I was like, I started making, there's this woman on TikTok who I love, Silver Linings Lessons, and she makes loaded teas, like those, almost from those like loaded tea shops that everybody goes to.
I've never heard of that.
Okay, well, I don't know where you've been. So there's like these loaded tea shops. Justin, you've heard of them, right? They're like the nutrition tea shops.
I have not. No.
Okay, well, there's like a
Educate
bunch of,
me.
there's like a
Is it
bunch
like a
around
boba
here.
store?
No, so they're like nutrition teas, and people will drink them. You always see them. People like layer them, and they're wicked pretty, and it's like different multi-layered,
No.
supposed to be pretty looking teas. But they actually
And
have
how much are they?
no, but they actually have like Herbalife in them, which is an MLM product that people sell. Whatever, it's not a big deal. But so they cost like $12. I'd never had one because I was like, I draw the line at spending $12 on a tea, which is shocking that I do draw the line there, but I do draw the line
I'm
there.
shocked.
And so this woman on TikTok makes them, and she adds like a little bit of green tea, and it has like 100 milligrams of caffeine, and they taste delicious. So I got some of the stuff to make it. And then at the same time that like she had been popular for a while, but right around then is when like all of the Water Talk stuff blew up too, which is like where people make birthday cake flavored water and call it water and are like, this is how I'm drinking my 90 ounces of water today. And like, that's what they do. So that's why I bought some of them to make my loaded teas. And my husband actually likes them too. But so you do like a base flavor, and then you put like a little bit of aloe vera juice as like the middle layer, which sounds gross, but it's actually quite delicious. I actually thoroughly enjoy it. And then you do like a top layer, and they look super pretty, and they're actually really good. So I bought a bunch of packets to make them with. Some of them are Crystal Light packets, but I also got one of the Crystal Lights, and I actually just had one on my way here, a Crystal Light blackberry lemonade that was
that's fancy.
delightful. No, it was just I just put it in some water.
I like the Crystal Light lemonade watered down because sometimes it's a little too
really
strong.
sugary. Yeah,
No, acid reflux. It like burns your esophagus.
yeah, you're an acid reflux girly.
GERD.
We actually,
day one.
yeah, we actually have both of us have very, 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 very weak stomachs. Like you look at me the wrong way, and I will be throwing up. And that's
I won't.
just,
I'm a nurse.
yeah, see, not me.
Mine's more of like if I have like one look at a tomato and I'm like, my dad too.
But our dad
you obviously
also
get it from dad because
our dad also
he has the weak stomach and the reflux. So
our
thanks,
dad. I don't know. He's not like as willing to be talked about on the pod. I don't think he'll care. But our dad, before like every flight he's ever taken, just throws up immediately. He just the night before he'll be up all night, like just puking because he's so nervous about the flight. And he's not even like a super nervous flyer, which is why it's weird. But that's where I get.
That's where she gets it, and that's
where I get mine.
He
from,
also
too.
has the GERD. So, I feel like we just got so sidetracked.
Yeah,
Where
that's what
were
happens
we?
on the pod. Sometimes it just happens. So you were on
so you're on
drinks.
water. So, okay, yeah, but
So then you were trying to decide your last two. One was, I think, Crystal Light. I think you were gonna. Or
yeah, I mean,
I forget what you were
it's
gonna
not
say.
water.
Yeah, no, and that's okay.
So ginger ale,
iced coffee,
dark roast,
espresso martini.
never hot coffee, only iced.
Yeah.
Espresso martinis, creamy. My favorite flavor is the orange mango body armor.
Oh, right.
So that's my problem is I don't drink water all day. I'll be on like my third coffee and my third ginger ale of the day, and then I'm like, oh, it's 8:30. It's time for bed. I probably should have a sip of water, and then I get my giant Stanley cup
with your iced cold water.
and I need like a fat iced water by my bed every night, and I'll take like 3 sips, but I need it by my bed. And then I like get so parched at bedtime because I hadn't drank water all day. So sometimes I'll slug a body armor, and I feel like you can feel it like rejuvenating your veins.
Okay, well I think you're taking it a little far there.
It says superior hydration on it. And
Okay, well a liquid IV would probably be fine.
I don't like the flavor.
Of liquid IV?
Yeah.
Lame.
I don't like it. And I don't like water. So I'm just going to go with those 4. I don't really think I drink anything else, right? I can't drink orange juice. GERD.
I don't like orange juice, so I don't know.
I don't like milk. Ew.
You used to like apple juice. You were a big apple juice girl.
No, don't you remember at my bachelorette party, somebody tried to get me to drink a cider, and one time I had apple juice, and
Oh wait, it was me. Yeah, I do remember that.
And
it was me.
And my my other best friend, remember?
Maybe when we were in Ireland?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, my bachelorette party. They were so one time when I was drinking apple juice, it had like a layer of film on the top, or like an apple peel or something, and I like
That's so gross.
gagged on it, and ever since then I've been kind of off on the apple juice.
Oh, well, you used
So
to
apple
like
juice is not my thing. I don't know. I would guess maybe like some sort of variation of Crystal Light.
Yeah, or like a lemonade.
What are yours?
Oh, you know what your 5th one would be? A raspberry lime Ricky.
Oh,
Yeah.
live for a good one.
When Mollie was pregnant, I would bring her with her first. I would bring her a raspberry lime Ricky all the time. It was like her number one pregnancy craving.
Well, when I was pregnant, I craved all things like citrus, and that's why I
And you
got
can't have it because of the GERD.
Well, so that's why I got hooked on the
Body
the
armors.
lemonade. Well, that and the lemonade Crystal Light, a little bit watered down, but and like lemon cake. I started making lemon cakes then. So good.
Yeah, that is quite delish.
I loved citrus when I was pregnant, and like Starburst. I would have Starburst. I would never have a Starburst now.
Yeah, I'm not really a Starburst girl.
Wow.
I don't really like. I mean, you and Mom have always like made fun of me because I'm not really like a kid. Like,
You're not really a sweets girl.
no,
Yeah.
Like if there was a bowl of candy or a bowl of fruit, I'd probably take the bowl of fruit.
Yeah.
That's just my
Or
general.
ramen.
Or wait, I've actually been on a huge ramen kick recently.
I noticed you had like an 85 pack
I
in your
did.
house yesterday.
I did, and I have been making the most delicious ramen that I've been seeing on TikTok with like fresh green onions. And it's funny because when I first started really liking ramen, our uncle, who is also now dead, would always be like, oh, like you should add like green onions or like an egg to it or whatever. And at the time I was such a picky eater. I was like, that's fucking gross. Like I would never do that. But now that's
fast
exactly what I
forward,
do.
it's
I don't
like-
add an egg because eggs are nasty.
But
But
that's considered like gourmet now. You'd pay like $20 for that at the
no, I know. At Hakata ramen, which I love.
Right.
But yeah, I've been coming home from school almost every day.
Oh my god, it's like you're back in 8th grade.
No, I literally am making myself two packs of ramen with like a little bit of sriracha, some green onions, a little bit of soy sauce. Sometimes I add a little mirin, a little rice wine vinegar. It's so good.
So
Oh,
fancy.
it's delicious.
Wait, I want to know what your 5 drinks would be.
Oh, so iced coffee, probably like a Starbucks caramel macchiato with skim milk. That's what I've been having on a kick lately. Number 2 would be water. Sorry, I'm a big water girl.
Boo.
I know. Number 3 would probably be Coke, but I would want it to vary on the type of Coke depending on the scenario. So if I'm at the beach, it has to be like a nice cold can of Coke. It tastes like a can of Coke because they all taste different. Or like a McDonald's. You know what? No. Okay, I take it back. It has to be a McDonald's
Give me a
fountain
break.
Coke because that tastes the best no
It's
matter
superior.
what. Yeah, it is.
All my friends, we talk about that all the time. Like,
Yeah.
especially when you're hungover.
But you're a Diet Coke girl, and
no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
But you like Diet Coke.
Not really. I'd prefer a fresh fountain Coke, full Coke.
But the McDonald's fountain soda it definitely has some sort of different formula to it because it's.
I think it does. They
no,
say
it,
it
no, I
does.
know it does. It
hits different.
It does, and that's usually one of my little treats to myself. Actually, is a McDonald's fountain soda. So iced coffee, water, McDonald's fountain soda, an ice cold glass. I've actually become in recent months a Sauvignon Blanc girl,
A little Sauv Blanc.
and in particular, this delicious Sauvignon Blanc called Tohu. That's a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc that I absolutely love. Tohu, please sponsor this podcast. I love you more than anything. That's probably my 4th. And my 5th,
You love a little iced tea.
yeah, I do love a little iced tea, like a little iced tea with lemon and some equal.
You used to
Or-
get it from Dunkies, but now they don't have lemon anymore.
They don't have lemon. So I bought these true lemon packets. They're actually fine. Like it's a fine substitute for that.
You shouldn't have to bring your own lemon. That's like our grandmother
BYO.
bringing her own equal.
Yeah, so true. That is something she would have done. And then, yeah, so my 5th one would probably be some sort of iced tea, I guess. I do like
That's
an
an
iced tea.
interesting question.
That was actually
People
one of
know
your
I like one of my friends.
one of your friends from your group asked that.
They know I love the martinis.
Yes. I won't say her name because I don't know if she wants her government name on the pod, but
She
I'll tell you
probably
after.
doesn't.
Yeah, I'll tell you after. Okay, why did you become a nurse?
I wanted to be a nurse since I was like 5. I thought I wanted to be a dentist at first. Well, our mom's a nurse.
Well, it's kind of funny because Mollie's a nurse and our mom is a nurse and our dad is an electrician and our brother is an electrician. So it's just kind of funny that they all have that in common. And I,
In the black sheep.
yep.
No, JK,
And
you're not.
no, you can say that. It's okay. And I mold the minds of the youth of America.
Precisely.
Which is also particularly important if you ask me. But now you also technically mold the minds of the youth of America
I do.
as well. You
I'm
are
a
a school nurse.
Different category.
Mm-hmm.
Not any less important though.
Right.
It's
And-
almost actually School Nurses Day, so make
Yeah,
sure
no,
you
and it's
write
almost
that down.
Teacher Appreciation Week as well.
Which fall
But
on
who-
this.
Go ahead.
They fall on the same week.
And it's like, what man decided that the two most women-centered professions...
Well, I wasn't gonna go there.
No, I will. The two most women-centered professions, nurses and teachers, have to share an appreciation week. It's fucking bullshit. It's bullshit.
Language.
So, well, I'm sorry, but
Do
Is
we
it-
know who decides appreciation weeks? Like, where do those come from?
Some-
I don't
man
know. And then all of a
somewhere,
sudden you're
probably.
like, oh, it's, like last month was blah, 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 blah. Last month was also like OT, occupational therapy month. And then
Yeah.
next month is speech therapy month. And it's like, well, where? And is there a,
Yeah, is
a
there, like,
master
committee
calendar?
or something?
Yeah, there
Or-
must be a committee.
Does it have to go through the government? Like, why?
Right.
I'd like to get on that committee.
Me too. And I would like to separate Teacher Appreciation Week with Nurses Week. I mean, come on. They're two of like the most major professions. They should not have to share a week.
I agree with you. I think it's only fair.
Yeah. And so I'm pretty sure School
so-
Nurses Day falls in the middle because there's a separate day for school nurses.
Mhm.
And that falls in the middle of Teacher Appreciation Week
And so support Mollie as she runs on this platform for president.
of the calendar committee.
No, just president in general.
It's crazy. But so anyways, I'm a nurse. I wanted to be a nurse since then. And my mom was one. And I actually thought I originally, did I say this? Wanted to be
You
a
wanted to be a
dentist
dentist, yeah.
because I used to get like wiggly teeth and I'd be like
Ew.
so fixated
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it. And
you
I'd
always
rip it
wanted to
out.
pull my teeth, you sicko.
So I don't know why I then like switched it up and was like, yeah, there's probably like a little too much school in that, but I am now a nurse. I've been a nurse for like 10 plus
And was
years
it
now.
hard to, because I know this is something that was tough for you at first. So you went from working at like a hospital, making like pretty good money, to then becoming a school nurse. Was that hard?
Well,
Like,
I
I'm
worked
sure-
at a hospital as like a CNA before, and then I worked at a community health center, and I took a little bit of a pay cut to take this job,
Mhm.
but it's amazing.
Right, and the hours are obviously great.
And I have kids, so I am home in time to actually
Right.
get home like at a reasonable hour. I do like my pickups, like empty the dishwasher, and then I go get the kids from daycare, and it's great. And I have summers off, holidays off, the same days off as the kids.
Mhm, mhm.
And it's pretty great.
Now, something that somebody wanted to know is, can you talk a little bit about this is somebody that my friend Chandler, who is about to have her second baby.
Oh God.
And she wanted to know what it was like when you had to transition from having one kid to having two kids. And can you talk a little bit about what that was like? Was it harder than you
The
thought?
transition from 0 to 1 was way
Zero
harder.
children to one child.
Yes, was way harder than the transition from 1 to 2 because I just had my second. Well, not just, he just turned 5 months old.
Yeah.
My son, and
Sporto. That's his nickname.
baby Sporto.
We're not going to use their government names.
He's
to
not
protect
old
their
enough to
anonymity,
consent
but
yet.
yeah.
So, and my daughter, I was gonna, when we were talking about what we should say her name is, I just decided to call her my daughter because
Or
that's
daughter.
what
Teresa.
that's what Teresa
Yeah.
says on Real Housewives of New Jersey, which is like the only
Yeah.
show that I actually even kind of keep up with. So what was it? Oh, what's the transition?
Yeah.
Is that the question?
Yeah. Like how is it? Do you have any tips?
No, you just really have to remember that you and your partner are in this together because it's a lot.
Mhm.
And it's a lot. But it's great.
It's great.
It's great. I don't really know what to say. I mean, we're still like working things
But you
out.
but you did say like the transition from no kids to one kid was way harder
Yeah.
than But other people
But
don't
I was
think
like a
that's the
huge
same.
sleeper. I loved my sleep.
Yeah, facts.
And having one of my best friends told me once, having a kid changes your life
So
so much. And guess what? It does. But for the better, for the most part.
for sure.
I mean, it's not rainbows
Changed
and
my
butterflies.
life for the better. I love being an aunt more than anything
But
else
you
on this
get to
planet.
like leave.
Yeah, of course. That's the best part.
Yeah. I mean, like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I get an hour to run to Target by myself. It feels like a gift from God. Like a true present.
Right.
But I wouldn't change it for the world. I love my kids.
Yeah, of course.
But it was like once you already have one kid, you're like, this old
Yeah, it's not
chestnut,
that
you
big of
know?
a
Like
difference.
so I mean, my second was a little bit fussier. So that was a challenge because then you have a fussy infant and
Right.
toddler.
Yeah, and it's almost like which one's worse. Like if it
Yeah.
had been worse if your daughter was like really fussy and your son
Right.
was
like would
and-
I have jumped right into the pool that quickly if
well, I
because
wouldn't really say it was that quickly.
they're 2 years apart. No, not that quickly, but I mean she never made a peep.
Yeah, she's
And
so
she
chill.
slept through the night. Not now.
Well, she's in a little bit of a terrible twos phase.
She is.
And it's okay that I can say that. It's all right.
You're her aunt. It's
I
fine.
still love her very much. She is my best friend besides you, but
well. So yeah, it's you just have to
you just like take the good with the bad.
yeah,
and I've
you just
always
roll
said
with
that.
it. You just roll with it. You just roll with the punches.
All right, we'll wrap up. I have a couple more like two quick questions. So, and you can pass if you don't want to answer this. So, tell everybody a funny story about me. And I'll tell one about you. But I don't really have one in mind, so I have to see what you say.
I don't really
first.
have one in mind either.
Okay.
I think maybe the only funny story I can think of is one time where I think it was like Christmas break and we had Christmas had passed and it wasn't New Year's yet and we were going to Old Navy with our mom and it was like our big trip, like and we shared bunk beds or whatever. And we were like fake fighting and you bit my back like actually pretty hard. It didn't break the skin, but there was a mark there. And so you didn't get to go to Old Navy.
I actually do remember that.
And mom and dad have always been soft on crime with you. But
okay, but it's
no,
fine.
they have. I mean, and they admit it too.
No, they'll
like,
admit that. That's fine. I mean, by the time they got to me, it was like they were so tired. And like, again, like you were 7 years older. Our brother is 10 years older. By the time it got to me, it was like, all right, man, like,
yeah. And so
stay
they
alive.
actually like made you stay home. You didn't get to come to Old Navy. Like they didn't give in.
I'm being so serious when I say that is genuinely probably one of the only times in my life I was punished for something that I had done.
Yeah.
Like,
And so you didn't get to go. And I think I made out like a bandit in that trip.
Yeah, I'm sure you
I
did.
got the best, like, you know, well, it was great. And so you didn't get to go because you bit my back. And that's one of those stories that like I'll never forget because you finally got in trouble for like
for the first time
little
in my life.
sister stuff.
Well, I mean, if
Everything now just slides, but you're
yeah, of course. Well, that's why I said on the last week's episode, like I'm much more afraid of you than I am of our parents.
I was like mortified when you said that.
Why? You and your best friend who has who has two kids also.
Right.
She like was always so disappointed in me that I was like, oh my God, like I'm like scared to do anything wrong. Like they're going to be mad at me.
We were laughing because like around your wedding because we were like, oh my God, like she's like our baby's getting married because
Like,
she's
I
been
know.
around forever. So it was like,
Yeah.
but and she's like, she's not old enough. She's not old enough to get married.
I know. It is kind of crazy.
But alas,
Sometimes I do still feel that way. Like
I still feel like that. Sometimes I wake up, I'm like, oh crap, I have 2 kids.
No, I think I'm like, what am I, a child bride? Like, this is crazy.
Right.
I can't, meanwhile, I'm literally I'm turning 28 in a couple weeks. Like, I just don't understand how that happened.
I didn't get ID'd recently at Costco, and I was kind of like,
Sad.
maybe it wasn't Costco.
That's tough.
I'm like, is this really what the world's come to?
I can't think of a funny story about you right now. It's like,
If you can, it's probably
tough.
embarrassing, and I'll probably yell at
Yeah,
you and make
right.
you cut it out
Yeah.
anyways.
There's one that I'm thinking of, but I know that you would absolutely
I would-
never. She knows what I'm doing
Kill
too.
you.
She knows that we can't talk about it on the podcast. But anyways, I feel like there's one with our grandmother. Like there was one with my grandmother that I was trying to think of, but I couldn't think of it off the top of my head with you and our grandmother.
When she tried to set me up with my now husband.
Oh yeah. And that's a good one. And also when she told you that she didn't like you how you looked with your hair down.
Yeah, I always
She
usually
always
wear
wears her
a
hair
bun.
up. The way that she's
I
wearing
hate
her hair.
it in my face. I just don't.
Yeah, and that's fine.
I'm a bun girl.
Yeah, you always have
And
been.
should like I would straighten it, wear it down back when it was like cool to straighten your hair and wear it down. And she'd be like, ugh, I like your hair so much better pushed back.
It was legit like that quote from Mean Girls. And it's like, your hair looks sexy pushed back. Like, no, your hair just like looked so much better. Like,
Yeah. And she always said that.
yeah, she did.
What was the other one you said? Oh, she tried to set me up with my now husband
Yeah.
before we were dating because he's a plumber.
Yeah.
And he was going to do work on her house. And she's like, the plumber's coming up here. Get up here and put some lipstick on. She was like 82.
Yeah,
trying to
she
set me
was.
up. But
Queen. All right, last question here. I was gonna ask like in iconic duos, who is who, but like it's kind of hard because I can't think of any duos off the top of my head. All I know is if you watch, I've said this before, if you watch Succession, our family lineage of Succession matches quite perfectly with the
I don't
lineage
watch it.
with the lineage of the Roy children, and you are very much the Siobhan of our family.
I don't know. I'll have to ask my friends if that's a compliment or
you
not.
are very much the Siobhan. No, that's a good thing. She's like bad bitch o'clock, and then I am very much the Roman of our family.
I'll have to ask my friends.
Ask them what's up.
They're always like, oh, Succession. I just like can't find the time to watch TV.
Well, yeah,
and
know
I
that
also
about
go to
you.
bed at 8:30. So.
Right. All right, last question. What is one question that you wish that I had asked you today and how would you have answered? Like, what did you have in mind for what I was going to ask you? Is there an example that you could give?
No.
I asked everything that you wanted to be asked.
Yeah, I figured we'd talk about some sort of books, motherhood, my career,
Mhm.
and our family dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
no,
I
always
just-
said that.
I thought you wanted to ask like something about me being the reason why you're terrified of me. I thought we were going to talk about
No,
that more.
I mean, we can.
I was
You can-
mortified. I
Well,
didn't want
I'm
everybody to
sorry
be
that I said
terrified.
that. Not like, I mean,
Just don't mess up. or
you're
I'll
just
kill
scary
you.
when you're mad.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And that's what you just said. You literally just said, don't mess up or I'll kill you. So,
Right.
yeah, period.
I don't know. I thought you were going to get more in depth into like,
No. I mean, there's nothing really to it. I just like like in the few times when you are genuinely mad at me, it's like just terrifying.
right.
And that's what I meant by that. But it doesn't really happen that often.
No.
But you also have, like, even if you were wrong for being mad at me, you would never be like, I was wrong for being mad at you. You'd be like, no, I was just still right.
Well, I have to teach you a lesson.
Well, it depends who you ask.
That's fine.
That's
That's all?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we've been, what are we at here? About just over an hour?
Just crossed an hour.
Perfect. Look at
Wow.
that. It doesn't feel like it. Time flies when you're having fun on the pod.
I mean, we could talk about anything for any amount of time.
of course. And it would be fine.
I mean, we went off on tangents about tea talk or something.
Yeah, loaded teas. I'll send them to you.
Don't.
They're actually good.
Please
don't. Okay. I won't then. That's fine.
Please don't.
No, that's fine. That's like, how many of the TikToks that I send you do you actually watch? Like, probably not that many. No, that's fine.
Did you send me one today?
No, I was working today.
Oh. I think the last one you sent me I watched and I was like, oh,
No, but sometimes
the one you sent me and my husband the other night.
which one was
We watched
was
it
bad?
together and we were like, that was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Oh,
and
oh,
he usually
oh.
gets your sense of humor.
No, you know what? Fuck off, because it was Francesca Stugat, and if you don't know,
Francesca Stugat.
no, and if you don't know who Francesca Stugat is, please go onto TikTok right now and look up
it's
your homework.
so-
No, shut up. Your homework for today's episode is to go look up on TikTok Francesca Stugat. She's this girl, and people fill out like a form in her bio, and she calls guys like their guy
She's
friends.
prank calling them.
Yeah, no, she
Who
is prank-
answers their phone?
Like college kids for sure. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Where did they get that from? I don't answer my phone.
Okay, well, you're a mom.
Do you? Well, you do because you like to talk on the phone. I hate
I
talking.
do like to talk on the phone. So she has this form in her Instagram bio, and she'll call like one of your guy friends and be like, "Hey, Justin, and like, how are you?" And the guy will always be like, "Hey, who is this?" And she's like, "It's Francesca." And the girl, whoever's pranking them, will give her a ton of information about them and be like, "Oh, like, it's Francesca. We met at Capo the other night. Like, you gave me your number." And the guys are always, it either goes one of two ways. They're like, "I did," and they don't remember, or they completely are being gaslit and are like, "Oh yeah, Francesca, what's up?" Like, and she's like, and sometimes if they don't remember, she'll be like, "It's me, Francesca Stugat." And it's like, if anybody, how are these men so stupid that they don't, no, that's what Justin's laughing. Francesca Stugat. Like, how do you not realize, have you
But do
ever
you even
watched?
exchange last names?
Maybe, I don't know. But at first she just says Francesca, like that's why, and then like eventually she's like, "Francesca," Francesca Stugat, and
No,
that's
that
so no.
I
Shut
know,
up, because
but that's
it's
like
so
your
funny.
sense of humor, not mine.
It is my sense of humor, and it's hysterical. She has like millions of views on TikTok because then at the end, like if they don't remember, she'll be like, "We talked about," and the girl will give details, and it'll be like, "We talked about how you're a bouncer and how you have a podcast," and then the guys are like being gaslit into thinking that they met this girl, and like they're like have no idea, and it's so see Justin's laughing, and then they
That's pretty fun. I'm laughing at her name too.
Francesca
the name is
Stugat.
hysterical,
It's so funny, and
Makes
she
me think of
the
the
way she
Sopran-
says it.
yes, the Sopranos.
Yeah.
And then she puts on this like fake accent and she like has all these details about her life that she shares in these videos. And she's like, I go to you Miami. And she like
I was home for the weekend.
No, she's like, I was visiting my friend.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
She's like, if it was Boston, she'd be like, I was visiting my friend at BU for the weekend and we met at the Harp and then we went to like wherever after. And then the guys finally start to be like, oh yeah, Francesca, how are you? And she's like, well, you said if I was ever in town again to give you a call, I thought maybe we could do dinner and drinks. And it's hysterical. And then at the end, she's always like, and if the guy doesn't remember, she's like, you know, long brown hair, big boobs, skinny waist. Like, it's just like wicked funny. And then she always says, she's like, well, I have to go. Like, I think you probably remember me saying my meal prepping business is taking off.
It's like so dumb. I mean, we've never really had like the same sense of humor, but some of the TikToks you sent me, I'm like, please.
No, some of the ones that your husband sends me, I love him to death. He's a great guy, but he's like, this is so funny. And it's like very like 40-year-old man, average Reddit humor. Like, I'm like, good one. Like,
no, he knows, like, unless he thinks it's super funny, then he can't send it to me because,
yeah. Or unless
he'll send them to me when I'm at work.
Yeah. Or unless it's a D's nuts joke, then he'll send those ones always too.
Right.
But yeah.
Your husband's into that one too.
Yeah. But
like
anyways, go look up Francesca Stugat, everybody but my sister, because it's so funny. And then at the very end of the call, every time she goes, all right, well, I have to go. Like, I'm back at you, Miami, and I have to go work on my meal prepping business. Francesca Stugat out. Mwah, mwah. And then she hangs up the phone. And it is so funny. Oh, my God.
That funny.
It is so funny. But anyways, Molly, thank you so much for coming
Thanks
on
for
today.
having me.
We're really
Thanks.
glad that you could make it to our first official Friends and Family Week here on the
I
pod.
know.
And
Who's, like the next friends and family.
I don't know. You're all I mean, maybe Mom would come on, but I don't think she would like it.
No.
I don't think she'd have fun.
Maybe you can get one of Annie's family members on the roundup.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be a good one. Yeah, unless I could eventually convince my husband, but I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Maybe you could convince my husband.
I think he would love it. He would have a lot to say on here.
I think he would love it.
All right. Well, that's all. Thank you so much to Headquarters for having us. Thank you, Justin. And Annie will be back next week. We'll be back with Mike, and we will be doing our Vanderpump Rules show at Nash Bar. If you're interested in that, it's free to come. All you have to do is come. Food, drinks. You can chat it up with us. Me, Annie, and Mike doing our little show together. And that is on the 10th at Nash Bar. And there was something else. Oh, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Talk of the Townies, at Just Abby to Be Here, at Annie Dow. I think she's at Annie_Dow. And then Molly, you can tell everybody where to find you as well.
I don't know.
I
don't know what my Instagram name is.
I'm pretty sure it's just at Molly Ehrlich.
Yeah.
EHRLICH.
I didn't know if we were sharing government last names.
Well, you wanted to plug your Instagram.
Well, I should. Yeah, it's just at Molly Ehrlich. Molly. I-E, not Y.
Yeah, Molly
Don't
with
get
an
it
I-E.
twisted.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. And thanks everybody.
Guys.
And we will see you next time. Bye.